everyone. My name is Shanaya Shetty, and my topic for today is the importance of mental health and its awareness in India. Next slide, please. These are the topics I am going to briefly touch upon today. So, what is mental health? Mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their community. It is an integral component of health and well-being. There are many different types of mental disorders in the world, like bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression, PTSD, schizophrenia, etc. Did you know that 1 in every 8 people in the world suffer from a mental disorder? Okay, next slide. Today I am going to be focusing on anxiety and depression, as these two are the commonest, hence the most serious problems that we face today. Looking at these celebrities, would you have realized that they suffer from anxiety and depression? How people hide the true emotions behind their smiles. Why I choose to talk about this topic today, you ask? It is because my mother has been experiencing anxiety and depression since her early years of college. And by using her example, I want to explain the causes, symptoms, and coping mechanisms for the same. Why do you think it is difficult to identify this disorder? Now, if somebody has a cold or body pain, its symptoms are visible to others, and hence it can be treated. But how do you spot depression in a person? You can't. A depressed person can easily hide their true emotions behind their smile and no one would know. People do not see it, so they do not believe it. But let me tell you that it is very real. Our bodies and our minds are not separate. Hence, mental illness affects our bodies too. Now, anxiety and depression can come with symptoms like headaches, fatigue, restlessness, insomnia, digestive problems. But often, these symptoms are misdiagnosed as regular physical problems instead of correlating it to mental illness. My father and I have experienced this firsthand with our mother. Fortunately for my mother, her doctor diagnosed it and educated us all on her condition. Even though we cannot feel her pain, we can help her get through it with a little bit of strength, with a little bit of support and compassion. And honestly, that's all she needs. Acceptance and strength. So what exactly causes this? Well, the causes vary from person to person, but usually it is due to the excessive feeling of emotions such as fear, worry, stress, insecurity, etc. In today's times, more than ever before, people are experiencing anxiety and depression because of their fast-paced lives. The competition, peer pressure, high expectations. Now, next slide please. Children as young as us can go through this and they probably wouldn't even know what they are suffering from. Hence, it is extremely important that we treat it in the right manner. Let's talk about some effective coping mechanisms. The first step is self-care and self-love. Then comes the talking and sharing of emotions. Sometimes, all you need is somebody to listen to you. Also, my mother, on the other hand, handles her anxiety very differently. She goes into stress eating and stress shopping. Really calms her down, she says. When the credit card bill arrives, it gives my dad anxiety big time. But that is a story for another time. Also, therapy is an option, but it is very expensive. So my father came up with a cheaper alternative, pet therapy. And he was so wrong, not about it being an effective alternative, but it being cheap. Next slide, please. So what can we as a society do to help and create awareness? Basic training for people to identify such patients, create mass awareness and help in diagnosis, have adequate outreach programs and helplines for support, set up proper infrastructure and treatment facilities. Lastly, but not the least, implement mental health education in schools and colleges. Another misconception in our country is that if a person is mentally ill, they're either crazy or mentally very weak. This is absolutely incorrect. I know this for a fact because my mother battled cancer 3 years ago. And even doctors believe in such cases that if a person is mentally strong, that's like winning half the battle. My mother is the strongest person I have ever seen. The amount of inspiration, the amount of mental strength and the determination she had then is absolutely inspirational. And it is because of that today that she has been disease-free for more than 2 years. Greater is the responsibility of family members as they play a very important role on the journey from mental illness to mental wellness. My dad, my dog and I are my mom's therapists, her heroes, her support group and her stress busters. She also says we are the cause of her stress, but that again is a story for another time. Next slide, please. We all have individual responsibilities to fulfill. For example, the duty of my dad and me is to ensure that my mom's smile every day is nothing but genuine. Thank you so much for listening to me today so patiently, and I hope you feel